Burkeshire farm. Today we were going to go out to the farm, do some cutting on the grass and cleaning up the pad before they start bringing in the dirt for our new home that's going to be built soon, hopefully. But unfortunately, Texas once again is having rain. So instead of going out to the farm, we decided to do some work around our little place that we're staying at until we finally get to move out to the farm. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to make another batch of soap. Soap is something new that I'm starting to do, and I've made a couple of batches. And today is going to be actually my first batch where I'm going to have two colors. I've done batches where it was just one color, but today I'm going to actually dive in and do two colors and see how it works. Now I kind of already have everything a little bit measured out because I'm really slow at getting things measured out. I'm not real quick at this yet. So I do have everything kind of measured out, but I'm going to kind of go step by step of how the rest of the process is going to be, and we're going to go from there. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mix my lye and my water. One of the things that I have read, I've done a lot of reading, trust me, books everywhere. I've read a lot of stuff, done some YouTubing. I actually belong to a Facebook group that is sponsored by Tree Marie. It's a great resource for if you have questions. Whenever I have a question, I just type it in there, and the next minute, you know, I have tons of different answers, and I can pick what I want and what I don't want, what I think would work best for me. So that is one of the places where I'm also getting some information. But anyways, I am kind of slow still, so everything is all portioned out. But we're going to start with the lye. So one of the things I have learned from reading and listening to people is use colder water when you're adding the lye to the water, because the water will cause when you're adding the water to, the other way around. When you're adding the lye to the water, don't ever add water to lye. That will cause a volcano effect and you're in trouble. So you add the lye to the water, and mine, I went ahead and put it in the fridge for a while to cool it down, because that will help prevent some of the fuming. The other thing is I'm going to step off to the side, and I'm going to do it underneath my vent above my stove. That will also help get rid of some of the fumes, and therefore I won't be breathing them in. So the first thing I'm going to do, though, I don't wear safety glasses. I know that's one of the controversial things, wear them or not, but if I put safety glasses on, I can't see. So I do have my regular glasses on. At work, I'm a dental hygienist, and at work I do have these little side shields, and I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll, bring some of my side shields home just to stick them on the glasses. Still give me a little bit more protection, but in the meantime, I have to wear my regular glasses so I can see. And always make sure that you wear gloves. Gloves are, now because of the issue that we've had over the past year, almost a year and a half, glove prices have skyrocketed unbelievably. In my office, we actually, a year and a half ago, when we would buy gloves, they were roughly $4 a box. No, $8 a box, I take that back. And I was just talking to our lead dental assistant who does all our ordering, and she said that a box of gloves now is costing our office $40. So I have decided to try and work my best using reusable gloves and wash them up in between. They kind of feel, they're fairly snug, and I think I'll be able to work with them fairly well. But today's my first day trying them, so we're going to see what happens. And I'm just going to step off now, and like I said, I'm going to pour the lye into the water, not the water into the lye. I'll be back in a YouTube minute. Alright, so we have the lye all dissolved, and the crazy part, I poured the lye into the water, and because of the reaction of the lye and the water, the temperature just goes up ridiculously high. Remember, this was cold water, and now, I don't know if you can see that, but it's at 154 degrees. So for this, we need to let it cool down to about 100 degrees. So we need to just let that set aside. Put that over here. So now we're going to do the oils. I know this bowl is hard to see inside because it's not clear, but when I started making soap, this was the only big bowl I could find. And so I put my olive oil already in here because it's liquid. Then the next thing I have is my cocoa butter. As you can see, the cocoa butter is solid. And with the cocoa butter, I have heard two different ways of how you can melt the cocoa butter. You can melt the cocoa butter either by doing a double boiler on the stove or in the microwave. I've done it in the microwave several times. I haven't had any issues with it. I know some people are like, no, you can't use the microwave, but I haven't had any issues with it. So unless I have an issue, I'm going to keep using the microwave because that is the easiest way to do it for me. The other thing I have is, and I know I'm going to say the name wrong, but I have babuso, something like that, oil that I'm also going to add. Now, I did not know this when I first ordered the oil and it came in this big jug. I didn't realize that part of it is actually solids and part of it's liquid. So I did a little research, and a lot of people, what they say is they melt their hard oils and then pour the oils that really don't have a lot of solids in it into it, and that will melt it enough, and then pour the rest into your olive oil. So we're going to try that. So I'm going to go melt my cocoa butter, and I will be back. All right, so we have the cocoa butter. It's all melted. And now, and I did the temperature. Let's see what the temperature is. So the temperature is 111. That's still too high, but by the time I add in here and I add in there, it'll cool down. See, some of those chunks, they kind of got stuck up in there. I'm just going to stir it around here until those little chunky things. There we go. Now I think it's ready to go. So now, that part done, I'm going to pour it into the big bowl. The first batch of soap I made, I didn't have this big bowl, I had another bowl. It was a mistake. So after that, I decided I needed to get a big bowl. So this was the only bowl I could find. And I was looking for a big glass bowl, but I sometimes think the big glass bowl might be a little too heavy. So as I get going, I'll figure it out. I'm going to pour that in here. Alright, so I just did the temperature of everything, and it looks like this is about 111 and this is about 108. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add the lye into the oils. Try and go slow enough so I don't create too many bubbles. I've seen people just dump it, and then I see people take their time. So until I get to really know how it works, I go a little bit at a time. And the other thing I'm going to add before I start mixing is some of the clay. I put the clay in there so that it has a little bit of a scrubbing agent in it to help remove dirt and whatnot, because Frank likes to have good soap that removes dirt, so I always try and put some kind of a clay in it. And then I'm going to get my boat motor. And then what you want to make sure is it has a little hole here and air can get trapped in that little hole. So you want to make sure you get all the air out. So you just kind of bounce it a couple of times. And we just kind of stir it around a little bit, bounce it a couple times, let it go. And we want it to be a light trace. So between the brown of the cocoa butter and the gray of the clay that I put in, it kind of gave it a greenish brown color. Okay, there we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some peppermint oil to give it a little bit of a peppermint cocoa smell. I'm just going to mix that. Actually, adding that oil lightens. It's always interesting to see things that happen that you don't expect it to happen. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my measuring cup and I'm going to pour a half a cup into here. You probably can't see it because my mold's in the way, but I am pouring it into that. Then I'm going to take my cocoa powder. I'll get this out of the way so I don't knock it over. That would be my luck. And I'm going to put that in here. There we go. Take my little nifty blender here. Mix it in. Well, I don't know if I like this. It would work maybe on a smaller scale, but on a bigger scale. And the cocoa powder has really caused it to thicken up. Big time thicken up. Wow. Yep, we'll just keep going. See what happens. See, got cocoa over here. All right. It looks pretty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this in here. This is the base. I'm going to pour that in here. What I might do, this is really the consistency I want that to be. I might add a little bit more into there, just to thin it out and see what happens. There we go. Now it's a little bit thinner. Before it just got so thick, I was afraid it's just going to clump on the top, and then I wouldn't be able to get any swirls. And since this is my first time doing the two color, like I had said earlier, I really want to see if I can do those wonderful little swirls that I see in so many videos. Here, scrape that out, don't want to waste it. Then I'm just going to pour it. I'm going to pour it from high up and just go. And I was told to just keep going in the same direction, back and forth. You don't want to switch directions. Whoops, well, I switched directions. Oops. See, it's starting to really get thick again. That's all right. Okay. All right, then, so I went back and forth, and now I'm going to go the other direction. And I'm just going to go back, and I put the chopstick all the way to the very bottom. Okay. And then, using the same direction, I'm just going to do little swirls, just a little bit, just so that the top will have color. All right, bye. Making a mess. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cover it. I'm going to put a little bit of parchment paper on first, and then I'm going to cover it with a piece of cardboard just on the top to protect the top, and then I'm going to wrap it in a blanket. That's going to put it into a gel phase, and then hopefully tomorrow or the next day we'll see what we have. So stay tuned and let's find out what this soap ends up looking like. Alright, so it's been 48 hours. I checked after 24 hours and it was still pretty soft. So I waited another 24 hours. And what I noticed on the top, you can see like a little white film that's over the top here. That's called soda ash. And what this is, it's a white residue that forms over it. It doesn't hurt the soap. You can cut it off, you can rinse it off. They say it could be due to it cooling down too fast, but I did have it wrapped in a towel, so I don't know. It says that maybe it didn't go all the way through to the gel phase, and that can cause it to happen. So not real sure why, but it happened. The other thing I noticed with this is some of the soap turned out a really nice creamy white color, and then the brown turned out another pretty brown color. But then in the center, you can see it still looks, I say, a grayish color. Frank says a more purplish color. So I don't know if this is going to slowly change as it continues to cure, or did something happen to the soap that now it has this grayish purplish color. If anybody has any ideas or suggestions, let me know. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take the soap out, because I'm so excited to see what it looks like. Because remember, this is my very first time doing a two-tone soap. Let's see how easy it is to get out of this mold. Okay, not easy. There we go. I can see it kind of breaking loose. It's coming. Well, maybe it's not done. We'll find out. Because really and truly it does feel a little soft on the inside, but the top was really hard. Alright, definitely still really soft. I mean, super soft. There's even little bubbles back on the back side here. So that tells me that it is not all the way cured. But I'm excited. See, you can even see how it kind of smush the corner, whereas when I did it the last time, the corners didn't smush up like that. Oh, well, maybe, I don't know. I think that is what part of the problem is it's not 100% cured. That's what this is telling me. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut it because I'm excited. I want to see what the inside looks like. This is going to be just bars of soap for Frank and I to use, and I might give one or two to my kids so that they can try it after it's sat for 4 to 6 weeks. So what I'm going to do, since I don't have a soap cutter, I'm just going to kind of mark. Now let's see, how can I do this without cutting myself? I'm just going to kind of mark every inch on one side. Yeah, it is like super, super soft. But I have to say, the smell, is incredible. So if you like chocolate chip mint, this is definitely the soap for you because it smells like chocolate chip mint. Unbelievable. Who'd have thought that a soap that smells so yummy can be so good for your skin? So I'm just kind of marking the other side. So some of my other first batches, I just kind of cut. And they're really uneven. So this time I thought, well, I'll just measure it on both sides, and maybe it might be a little bit more even. Go straight down. What I've been told, do not like pop it. You want to twist and slide, otherwise you can mark it up. All right, now I wish it would have gone down a little bit further, but let's see as we go along cutting what happens. I didn't see that side. Yep. Okay, go to our next one. The puppies are playing. They will be so happy when they can go finally out on the farm to run outside.
Back door.
And now they're going outside. Frank says that's enough. Alright, and there's another pattern. Let's see. I always like to see on the videos when people put them together to see what kind of a pattern it makes. Oh.
Back door.
So I think, well, one of the things is one of the brown had thickened really hard. So that could be part of the reason why the brown did not go all the way to the very bottom, or I didn't hold the soap up all the way. They're coming out a little bit more even, but not great. Like I said, this one is going to be for Frank and I, and maybe the kids if they want. To try a bar. It's more of a masculine color. I like that side a little bit better than this side. That one kind of, I don't know. But for my first try for 2 different colors, not bad. Oh, I just keep smelling that chocolate mint. It's making me want chocolate mint ice cream. And the top, the swirl on the top, it really is pretty. I was really excited to see how pretty it turned out. Just keep going down. As See now, even still now, this one, you can see it's not, it's just right there. It's not going all the way down to the very bottom. Get a couple more out of here. So I definitely would say this is one that I want to try again, to try and perfect. Because I think this would be a really pretty soap to put on our website to sell. Especially either, this would be a good one to sell for fall because of the colors and because of the smell, that minty peppermint smell. Well, it's a little bit better. You can see that one actually got down a little bit further. I think I really need to hold it up a little bit higher. There we go. That one turned out tight. See, you can really see. I wish it would have gotten all the way down, but it didn't. It's kind of pretty though. Alright, oh, that one's kind of nice. Just not low enough. And things that I had read about the soda ash that's on the top is people said you just kind of take a thin layer off the top and then they'll get rid of that white filmish color. It doesn't hurt the soap or anything like that, but you can definitely tell the corners are all marred when I was taking it out of the mold. So that tells me, and I can feel it's really still really tacky, so it should have sat probably another 24 to 48 hours. It should have sat before I unmolded it, but I had to hurry up and try it because I was excited and I wanted to see what it looked like. But that's okay. These are the ones, like I said, that we're going to use for us. So I am happy with my first results. Any comments you have, please let me know because I would love to improve on this. I really want that dark to go further down. I do think that part of the issues is because it got so thick as I was mixing the brown in with the cream color, the base of it. I was mixing it, got really thick, so I had to add a little bit of the base to thin it out some. So I think that was part of it, but I think maybe I should have held it up a little bit higher also. That could have been part of the issue too. Anyways, I'm really happy with my first batch of two-tone. I can't wait to try again and improve on what I've done. Any comments or anything, like I said before, go ahead and put them below, whatever you think could help me to improve on some of this, or if you have any mysteries that why things happen the way they did, let me know. I'm always excited about learning how to improve on this because I really am so excited to learn something new and to develop my business on soaping. It's just something really exciting that I can't wait to dive into. I sleep, eat, and dream sometimes soap. I think Frank gets tired of me either having a soap book in my hand or what's on YouTube. I want to watch a YouTube on soap. And he's like, okay, we're going to watch another soap. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Of course, there's the subscribe button and the little bell. If you wouldn't mind hitting that, letting us know that you want to see more of our videos. Our videos range from farm to soap making to cooking to who knows what. So it was a pleasure being with you today. You have a really blessed day, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye!